So in the previous lecture, we solved one GATE 2013 question. Okay. So on the basis of the same concept, okay, we will solve another question which came in the year 2019. Okay. This question came very recently. So just please pay the attention. You see what I have written in the question. There are three processes, P1, P2 and P3. All these processes access a shared variable. Okay, so there is a shared variable D which is initialized as 100. Okay, so it's a code for process P1. This, it means what? Process P1 will have to execute some, maybe some entry section code here. Nothing is written about semaphore or any entry section code. So just process P1 will execute some code, and this is the main task of process P1. What it will do? It will increment the value of D by 20. Okay, and it will store it back to the variable D. So similarly, what process P2 will do? P2 will execute some codes, and after that, this is the main task of P2. P2 will decrement the value of D by 50 and will store it back to D. And after that, when CPU will be given to process P3, what it will do? It will increment the value of D by 10, okay, and it will store it back to the variable D. Fine. So here what I have written, the processes are executed on a uniprocessor system. So here uniprocessor system means what? Only one CPU will be there. Okay. So what they have asked, uh, and also one thing, the minimum and maximum values of D after three processes have completed their execution are X and Y. So X is a minimum value, and Y is a maximum value. Okay, and what we have to find out? Y minus X. We have to find out Y minus X. Fine. So let's, it means what? Here first we have to find out the minimum value and the maximum value. Fine. So let's start solving this question. So here you can see D is initialized as 100. Okay, the value of D is 100. D is 100. Fine. So now suppose if CPU is with process P1, okay, it is a uniprocessor. Okay, so there will be only one CPU which will be switched between the processes P1, P2 and P3. So now CPU is with process P1. Okay, so what process P1 will do? Here it will read the just like the previous question. Okay, just watch it very carefully. It will read the value of D. Okay, it may be in some register. It will read the value of D. What is the value of D? The value of D is 100. Okay, let me tell you one thing. Right now I am finding the maximum value Y. Okay, I am finding the maximum value. So it has read the value of D. Okay, and it has put this value in the register R1. Fine, and now it has decremented, so it will decrement it by 20. So now the value of R1 will contain 100 plus 20 equal to 120. Okay, so it will contain 120. Fine, but before, yes, and also another thing is that this 120 will be stored back to D. Okay, because D is equal to D plus 20. D is equal to D plus 20 is 120. Fine, but still now 120 has not yet been stored back to D. Okay, so suppose at this point, it means what? Before storing this value back to D, suppose a context switching is happened. Okay, and now CPU is given to process P2. Fine, so now CPU is with process P2. So this story is about process P1. So let me write here for process P2. So what process P2 will do? Process P2 will read the value of D, will decrement it by 50. So now what process P2 will read? 120 or 100? Obviously process P2 will read 100, not 120, because 120 has not yet been stored back to the variable D. That's why. this value has not yet been updated. So for process P2, the value of D remains 100. Fine. So what process P2 will do? Process P2 will read this value and will store it in the variable R2 100. And what it will do? It will decrement it by 50. So 100 minus 50 is 50. So the value of R2 is 50. Okay. And now after this, suppose P2 stores this value back to D. Okay. So now, okay, just wait. So now this 50 will be stored back to D. Okay. So now D has been updated to a new value, that is 50. Fine. So now D contains 50. Okay. 100 minus 50 is 50. So now again there is a context switching, and now CPU is given back to process P1. Okay. So process P1 has not yet completed its task. The only operation is left for process P1 is storing the calculated value back to D. Okay. Here P1 had calculated the value in R1 as 120. So now P1 will store it back to D. Okay. So now P1 will store this value back to D. So now this time you see what will happen. What will happen? If P1 is stored this value back to D, so D will contain 120. Okay. So D will contain 120. So now both process P1 and process P2 has completed their task. Okay. They have successfully performed the calculation and stored the updated value to the variable D. So now at the end, if CPU is given back to process P3, okay. So now the task of P1 and P2 is over. So let me rough this. So now CPU is with process P3. So what process P3 will do? Process P3 will read this value of D, okay, to the register, say R3. So now R3 contains this 120. So now process P3 will increment it by 10. 120 plus 10 is 120 is equal to 130. So the register R3 contains 130, and now process P3 will update this value here. Okay. So now ultimately the final value of D is 130. Okay. There can be more than one value. Okay. It's not necessary that only 130 can be the answer. There may be multiple answers, but right now I am finding the maximum value. Okay. But it doesn't mean that 130 is the only answer. Okay. There can be multiple answers, but right now I am finding the maximum value. Okay. So considering this, I am calculating. So now at the end, D is equal to 130. So now 130 is the maximum value. So Y contains 130. Okay. So now let's calculate the minimum value of X. Okay. So let me rub this. So what is the initial value of D? 100. Okay. Fine. Now here, let's start from process P2. Okay. Now suppose CPU is with process P2. Okay. So now CPU is with process P2. So what process P2 will do? Process P2 will read this value. Okay. Process P2 will read this value, and now it will store this. Process P2 will read this value means what? 100. Process P2 will read this 100 value and will store it, and will keep this value in register R2, and now it will decrement 50. It will decrement the value of D by 50. Fine. So now R2 contains 100 minus 50. 100 minus 50, that is 50. Okay. So R2 contains 50. So now this value is stored back to the variable d. So this time d, so no. So here you see, so R2 contains 50, fine. So now this value has to be stored back to variable d, but before R2 could store this value to variable d, a context switching is happened, fine. And now CPU is given to process P1, okay. So now CPU is given to process P1. So here you see the task of P2 has not yet over, because the task left is that P2 has to store this value back to the variable d. But before P2 could do that, the context switching happened and CPU given to process P1. Fine. So here I am not removing P2 because the task of P2 is not yet over. Fine. So now CPU is given back to process P1. So what process P1 will do? Process P1 will read the value of d, that is 100, not 50, because 50 has not yet been updated here, okay. So now process P1 has read this value and put this value in the register R1 and will increment it by 20. So R1 contains 100 plus 20, that is 120, fine. And now process P1 will store this value back to the variable d. So now d contains 120. Okay, so here you see P1 has successfully completed its whole task. P1 has done this incrementation part, increment by 20, and also P1 has stored the updated value to the variable d. But process P2 has not yet done the storing part. Okay, so now the task of P1 is over. Okay, so ultimately the value of d is 120. Okay, so let me remove this P1. Let me remove this P1 because the task of P1 is over. So what processes are left? P1 and P3. Sorry, P2 and P3. Okay, why? Because P2 has not yet completed its task. But before P2, suppose the CPU is given to process P3. So what process P3 will do? P3 will read this value, updated value 120, and now this P2 will keep this value in register R3, that is, so R3 contains 120, and now P3 will perform the incrementation part. So P3 will increment the value of R3 by 10. So R3 contains 120 plus 10, 130. Okay, and now P3 will store this value back to the variable D. So now variable D contains 130. Fine. And now the task of P3 is also over. Okay, because P3 has also done its storing part. Okay, so both P1 and P3 has completed its task. So the value of D is 130. Okay, so now suppose CPU is given back to process P2. Okay, so process P2 had done the calculation part. So process P2 remains this value 50. Okay, so now process P2 will update this value to D. Okay, so now this 50 will be updated here. Okay, so now the D value becomes 50. Fine. So what is the minimum value here? What is the minimum value of D? That is 50. And what was the maximum value? 30. So the minimum value is, that is, x is equal to 50. Okay. So what is the value of y minus x? So y minus x is 130. Y is 130 and x is 50. 130 minus 50, 80. So 80 is the answer. Okay. Thank you.